And welcome back. Time now is 4:41. Over the next 15 minutes, all of your news, weather, and traffic before you head out the door.
Yeah, so let's get right to weather and traffic first. Here's Samana.
Good morning, Brooke. Good morning, Bob. Oh, look at that. You ask and you shall receive.
We didn't ask. We did not ask.
You didn't ask, but someone out there asked. I asked for it, and I got it. Thank you, Tom, and all our crews for hooking us up with the full moon. Peak illumination, 4:42. It's at its fullest right now.
Your day is whole.
It is full.
Like the moon.
Like the moon. Nothing gets by you, Brooke. Temperatures climbing to upper 50s and low 60s today. It's going to turn out to be a gorgeous afternoon across Southern California. We are dry, but there is some trouble ahead. We're going to be looking for more rain and more snow coming up the latter part of this week. And we also now have traffic. We're going to take a look at Garden Grove. Thanks to our Caltrans camera, things continue to move along in both directions. The 22 at Fairview Street looks good through Garden Grove. Back to you, Brooke, Bob.
All right, Samana, thank you. Look at our top stories this morning. 6 people are hurt too critically when a police chase ends in a crash. Officers were chasing a car reported stolen when it slammed into 2 other vehicles in LA's Harvard Heights neighborhood.
A house in Lake Arrowhead exploded and burned to the ground last night. Fire investigators believe the situation was storm-related. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Another house caught fire yesterday afternoon in Twin Peaks. No explosion or anyone hurt there. Meanwhile, though, many people living in the mountains, look, they're still asking for help. They've been snowed in at this point for nearly 2 weeks.
Efforts to ban social media app TikTok are ramping up. A new bipartisan Senate bill will likely be unveiled today. The proposal aims to block the app and other foreign-owned technology that may pose a security threat to the U.S. TikTok continues to say its data is secure and a ban would be unconstitutional.
Teen Line, it's a peer support line where teens listen to other teens who are struggling with their mental health. In 2022, they responded to more than 6,500 calls, texts, or emails from young people. The CDC says the number of teens reporting poor mental health is increasing, and many of those young people don't feel like they have someone to talk to. So that is exactly where Teen Line comes in. They say they just want to help kids get through the day.
I think teens are really a mess, are really struggling with their mental health. So I do think we are in a crisis where teens are just struggling. There's so much pressure on them. There's so much uncertainty around the future.
Teens helping teens is the goal of Teen Line. Teenagers call in to talk about mental health struggles and other teens listen. 17-year-old Luna McNeff-Yee has been volunteering for 3 years. She says it's rewarding work.
There aren't that many resources that are so specialized for teenagers that allow teenagers to actually directly get in contact to more teens. So I think that was really special for me.
Teen Line volunteers specialize in crisis calls, suicide, child abuse, sexual abuse. But Luna tells me they will still listen to anything you need to talk about.
Sometimes teenagers are really struggling with a relationship or school stress or, an argument with their parents. And those things are no less valid just because they're maybe smaller issues. And so we handle those calls too. And so we'll take calls about any issue and we're willing to talk about anything.
The teen volunteers go through extensive training, but they still don't have the experience or even vocabulary of a medical expert. And Luna thinks that helps.
Because we can use language that teenagers are more familiar with. We can kind of reflect what they're saying a little bit better. And then they feel like they're talking, we're obviously trained and have a lot of supervision, but they're talking more to a friend versus talking to, a medical professional or something like that.
Teens just understand what it's like to be in high school, what it's like to grow up in a generation with social media, with the pandemic, with all these struggles. They have just common cultural references and nuances that we can't understand in that same way.
Senior Director Cheryl Eskin says Teen Line was founded on the idea that when teens are struggling, they are much more likely to turn to their peers than the adults in their lives. Her work as a leader here comes with the experience as a once 14-year-old volunteer herself.
I think I was like the therapist of my friends. I always liked to help people with their problems. So came to Teen Line, really found a home and a connection and just kind of a meaning.
Her hope is decreasing the stigma so that at any age, kids know it's okay to reach out and ask for help.
I do believe if we catch some of this earlier and we create a world where it's okay to talk about this, that things will hopefully get better.
You know, it's cute. The teen volunteers, they're called listeners, but really they just let the caller decide what they want, what they need, because you know how it is. Sometimes you need to vent, you want to just rant. Sometimes you want to work out an issue together, have someone offer suggestions. So they really let the caller choose. And if you ever need to call, the number is 1-800-852-8336. Teen Line is open from 6 to 10 p.m. every night, or kids can actually text TEEN to 839-863 from 6 to 9 p.m. So you can text, you can email, you can call.
And those teenagers, they're so impressive. Luna, so impressive, intelligent, and they have empathy as well, which is such an important thing to have, right, for something like this.
It's so interesting to me because, the truth is we've been teenagers, and you do have moments where you feel like, who can you talk to about certain things, and your parents try, but it's just, you don't always want to talk to the adults in your life. And it is so interesting because you think, you need a psychologist to come in, and but sometimes it's helpful to have someone who speaks like you.
Right.
Who knows TikTok,
who's going through the same
thing.
Right?
Exactly,
The peers,
Well, Brooke, thank you for bringing light to that story.
Yeah,
I hope that helps a lot of people. And it will. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hello, it's so good to see you.
Bob.
Yes.
Brooke, yes.
How are you doing?
These two. I'm
just reading your expression, and you want to say something.
Every day, but it's both of you.
What is it that you want to say, Bob? Just get it
I
out.
literally said good morning. Good
It's the look you gave her.
morning.
It's the look, right? Right, Brooke?
Good morning.
It's the look. Hey, good morning, everyone. Take a look at this. Our satellite radar, just a few clouds kind of pushing through the area at this hour. Temperatures, of course, are a little chilly out, layer up, but we're going to look forward to a fantastic afternoon. It will be dry today. It'll be dry tomorrow through about a good portion of Thursday. But then we change things up once again. We are watching and closely monitoring the next big weather system to hit Southern California, and it all starts with the areas to the north, where they're experiencing a couple of storms that will be rolling through. This one that comes in right around Thursday, it'll give the Pacific Northwest more rain and high elevation snow there. And eventually, it's going to sag a little further south. But look at how much more moisture is being brought in with this next system. It's tapping in to some subtropical moisture out towards the Pacific, and it's pushing all that rain and high elevation snow into northern, central California, and eventually we're going to get the southern tail end of that atmospheric river event. Arrival time for us, the bulk of the rain, sometime Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll be watching all that very closely. We're going to embrace this little dry period as high pressure builds in, and it'll be with us for a couple of days. Temperatures out towards Chicago, not bad, 40s. Out towards the northeast, New York at 45 degrees with sunshine as well. Dallas and Atlanta continue to be pretty warm for this time of year. It's still winter. We're just about 2 weeks away from the official start of spring. Coastal communities, dry, cool there. A little further inland for inland valley communities, we're looking at temperatures a little bit warmer from yesterday's highs. Then we'll notice more clouds building in sometime late Thursday. Rain widespread Friday and into Saturday. Don't forget to change your clocks. Daylight saving begins on Sunday. This is the one where you move your clock an hour forward and we lose that extra hour of sleep. Mountain communities, breezy and dry there. They're going to go ahead and take advantage of the dry conditions before more rain chances and snow chances come our direction. So back over to you, two.
All right, so I want to thank you. So did you watch the highly anticipated Chris Rock Netflix special? He is finally opening up about that infamous slap, and there's no shortage of reaction. We have that coming up.